Welcome back to Flint Hills Briar. I'm Gareth. Just wanted to jump on real quick, record a video real quick. About things I've learned, and this is part of Smoking Cardboard Steve's little giveaway video project thing. Just wanted to share my input. Yeah, my wife and I are back from the epic road trip out to Las Vegas. And we kept driving west until we hit the ocean. We drove all the way back. Had some cool experiences. I'll share more about that in some other videos. I did get a pipe. I did smoke one pipe while I was on that trip. Probably would have smoked another one. The place we stayed at in Taos, if we just hadn't gotten there so darn late, but it is what it is. But yes, things I have learned from different YTPC members. And I think this is very fitting for me to be doing this now, because it has been now just a bit over a year since I picked up the pipe again and actually kept at it this time. So it's a particularly good time for me to kind of look back at what I've learned from who. So I made a few notes here. Some of these may sound familiar based on other people's videos, but they are things that I learned. Notable things that I learned and used because they were very useful. In no particular order, the codger fill I learned from Eric the Blue Collar Pipe Smoker. Pat Paladin Piper mentioned that one. And yeah, that really, I noticed back when I was doing the Codger Challenge, Paladin Piper's Codger Challenge. Once I started doing that Codger fill, I got, not only did I have better smoking results with the pipe, and it was easier on my tongue, etc. Got a lot better flavor too. So that codger fill was really something good thing to use. And of course, it was almost out. The whole 2-finger thing to get your pipe going again, or 1 finger, I'd learned it as 2. I learned from Aristocob, and I've noticed quite a number of months back, like I don't know, last December or January, it's been forever ago. He hasn't, not only has he not made any videos, basically all his pipe videos are gone off of his channel. And I know he had a little online business, and that is gone too. So not sure what happened to Aristocob. I wish him well though. I learned that I don't need to worry about, cause like when I go camping in the winter, and it's below freezing, this past winter and spring for that matter also, I always took corncob pipes out, because I was concerned that my briar pipes, especially after I smoked them when they were damp, I was afraid that that moisture in the wood might freeze and cause cracks or something. But I learned from Timber Drifter that I don't need to worry about that. He says up where he lives, it gets very cold in the winter. He's left pipes in his vehicle overnight. He says he hasn't had any problems. So I learned that freezing briar is not a problem. I learned that there is nothing wrong with liking codger blends. And I learned that from Pat the Paladin Piper. I think sometimes there can be kind of a temptation to be a bit of a pipe blend snob, I guess. But there's nothing wrong with going back to the kind of the pipe community roots and enjoying the codger blends, because some of them really are quite good. I've had kind of an interesting journey with those over the last year myself. I won't go into that right now. That's probably another good video idea. I learned that a good way to seal tins is to wrap parafilm around them. And I learned that from Cainrod Piper, Mike Cainrod Piper. I think you may have seen that elsewhere on maybe another channel also, but primarily I learned that from Cainrod. I learned a lot of helpful tips and input about my tongue bite problem from many of you, many different folks have given me input on that. Thank you very much. I'm still, chugging along through that whole issue. I think I need to get more pipes that I can put charcoal filters in, to be honest. I think that's a big part of it. I have a charcoal filter in this one right now. Oh yes, I'm smoking some Galwith, Hogarth and Company Kindle Flake in my Savinelli 673. Yeah, I think I have that burned in my brain by now. My Friday Savinelli. This isn't my Matches Memorial one. Actually, I haven't smoked that one. This isn't exactly pipe. This is not exactly a pipe thing, but I found it kind of notable. I used to be a history major once upon a time. In college, I was always much more interested in kind of like Western civilization type history, i.e. not really American history. While I liked aspects of American history, it always struck me as kind of boring. It seems like American history classes usually talked a lot about, this congressional act of, 1830s, whatever, and who was on the Supreme Court, what Supreme Court decisions were, presidential scandals, just stuff that more directly revolved around the actions of our government. And while those things are important, and it's important to understand them, especially I understand that now, I never found it as interesting as learning about like ancient history with like Roman history and history of Europe in the Middle Ages, stuff like that. I found that much more interesting. So I kind of dismissed U.S. history as rather boring. But I have learned, with the help of Alan Harrelson at the Pipe Cottage, that American history really is quite interesting. And I've delved in. I got a Shelby Foote's 3-volume The Civil War series, and I also, because it tends to be much easier for me to listen to books on audio form than have the time to sit down and read them. I've actually gotten through the whole first volume on Audible, and I'm about a third or so through the second. I've kind of taken a break from that for a while, but I found that very interesting, and that's really through the help of Alan Harrelson at the Pipe Cottage. I've learned I'm a pipe maker. I'm a pie baker. I have been for most of my life. It's kind of taken different forms over the years. I used to be, I just, use canned pie filling. Primarily, I make cherry pies. And anyway, I make my own pie filling now. However, and I can make a good flaky pie crust, but I tend not to make it from scratch. It's usually just easier, faster for me to just buy the frozen pie crusts. I get the ones that are made with lard. And I usually just use that as a shortcut. I guess because I feel like I don't have anything to prove to myself or anybody else about being able to make a decent pie crust. But I have to say, I've kind of learned from the Northwest Pipe Smoker. I think that's right. Yeah, NW Pipe Smoker. I kind of think I maybe should really try to make my own pie crusts again, in addition to making my own filling with my own little additions and such to it. I probably really should get back to that. Learned that from him. Or got the inspiration from him on that. Apparently, he has I believe somewhere he shared a recipe for his pie crust. I have not tracked that down yet. I would like to find it so I can try it out. If anybody knows where that is or has it, send it my way. I'd appreciate it. And finally, I have learned when it really comes down to it, in the world of pipes, you have to find your own way. There's endless ways of doing things, there's endless opinions. You can, find yourself being influenced by folks, and that's fine. I think it's good. I think it's good to have influences and mentors and things like that, and a lot of things in life, including the pipe world, pipe and tobacco world. But ultimately, I have learned that you really have to find your own way. You have to try a lot of different things, see what works for you, see what doesn't work for you. And that's something that obviously I've just kind of learned from everybody. The importance of just finding your own way. Still haven't learned how to do a good job of keeping a pipe lit while talking. This is the first time I've ever tried this tobacco. I have to admit I've been pretty distracted by, talking. But, yeah, I like this stuff. Haven't really had a chance to sit back and kind of ponder the flavors yet, but, we'll get there. But anyway, I don't know, 12 minutes, almost 13 minutes. I'm going to draw this to a close. I think I've rambled on long enough like I usually do. So I have more videos to come when I get the chance to sit down and record them and relate some stories and such. Thanks for joining me. I'm Gareth with Flint Hills Briar. I will see you next time if I can talk right.